Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite YouTuber is back, Juan Mendez, but more importantly, Gavin Weiland, aka Weiland. I have a feeling it's going to be completely worth the wait. He was one of the pioneers of SoundCloud. He's had some issues with the label, but now he's had the opportunity to provide us with some great music, and guess what? I think this is the most genuine Weiland we'll ever get to see right now. I think he keeps evolving, keeps really finding himself through music, and that is why, now he looks like a person straight from the 80s. His outfits are fire, his whole personality, the way he's presenting himself, and the music he makes, I think it's incredible. We know him for the pictures holding rockets and things like that, but I think this is a big step. Blaming myself. Also loved it. Guess what? Mike Dean is in production, and Fish too. You might know Fish from songs with Big Baby Gucci or other artists like that. Maybe Kevin Kazi too. Shout out Kevin Kazi. Weiland, Vices. This is a full album reaction, my first one. So Weiland, Slipping Into the Void, production by Mike Dean and Fish. I like where this is going already. Do it. This is a very mysterious way to introduce the album. I could just picture myself walking, ignoring everybody, just going from one point to another listening to this song. Now we're gonna move on to track 2, Can't Save Her. I think this album is all about the instrumentals, really listening to what's going on. I feel like Weiland is trying to describe something about himself that is more relatable than just the previous Pack Runner stuff, and I think I really enjoy it. This is deeper than I thought it would be. Broken Ego. Kind of like this. Okay, we know what this is about. This is very internal. And I might cry listening to this on my headphones later. Let me go full camera for this. He can repeat what he says multiple times, as we saw in that song, My Broken Ego. He could say that as many times as he wants, because the layering, the saturation on his voice, it's so interesting, it's so addicting. That's what I really like. That you could tell that they put a lot of work into engineering to make his voice sound this way, and I feel like it took him a while to really nail this sound too, and I appreciate that, Weiland. I definitely appreciate that. The title for this next one is called Dangerous Woman, so I feel like we got a theme here. That was intense. That was really good. That was intense. We know what the theme is. We discovered it, and he's trying to empathize for everybody that feels the same way. Telling you to escape those situations that you're not very comfortable with. And I find that very, very interesting about Weiland right now. The way he's exploring those, navigating through our brains, trying to get into those feelings that we don't even tell our closest ones. Yeah, it was about time I drank some water after all that. All the same, the variation in the pacing of the tracks, it's so good. I think we get the overall idea of that track there. He just wants change. He wants to probably stop thinking about all these things. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of us can relate to that. So there's some interesting psychological things we're exploring here. And I'm all for it. Let's see what we have here. Ooh. You can't really hear it, but that 808 is filthy. Best song so far, no questions about it. This is definitely Weiland exploring a... I feel like there's a lot of masculinity attached to this. You know, because once we struggle with something, we don't want to be vulnerable ever again. And Weiland is right now being able to express that through his music, and I think it's amazing. This product is absolutely amazing. Next is Better Place, I believe. Like I said before, this sound is addicting. The way the drums sound, it's like I'm discovering, it's like this genre just came out. That's how good it is. This way to just flavor it in the way that Weiland is doing it. Why did I live if this is what I got? This is very deep, like I said earlier, very mature but very personable. The way that he's opening up to us and what has been going on. This is like catching up to a lot of the darknesses that a lot of us travel with. We're gonna dive straight into it. How about that? This is very, very in there, very philosophical, as in, I feel this way, I want to get rid of you, but I also realize that either you make me feel good a lot of times, in the same way that maybe drugs or something negative also does, but at the same time, I realize that if I leave you, you're gonna be perfectly fine with me as well, and that brings me down. I feel like that's a lot of things worth thinking about when listening to this project. As I mentioned, we are not going to go into Blame You Myself because that came out a little bit ago already, but I did enjoy the track. Very extensive, but we got a taste for that Mike Dean production that we were gonna get on this album. Wanted more. I feel like Weiland executive produced all of these as well, just to point that out. I like this kind of third person thing going on. I wish I had headphones on. I think that's definitely one of the more traditional sounding songs in this album. The more, okay, after listening to all of these previous ones, I feel like he could do this effortlessly, but still conveyed a new theme, which was nice, Being a little more direct about it. From the start, you only wanted more, things like that, Very direct about it. Now that he's figured out his feelings, I feel like this track kind of encapsulates it, but in a very simple way, but it's still effective, and I enjoy it too. Melotron. That was cute. Okay, I don't know how else to describe it. I was not expecting this. That was really cute. The sweet side of that love he's talking about this entire album. It's a really good depiction of it. Who wouldn't be feeling what he has been saying this whole album for a girl or a guy that is not as perfect as they're described in this song? This, I'm phased by her face. I would wait many days. I've lied, I've cried, I'd fight for you. And we're hearing that. We're hearing that lied, that cried, that fight, this album. Am I overanalyzing? Maybe. There's connections to be built, especially if you know how he feels in a certain way, if you relate. That being said, the last track is called Farewell. But let's do this. Last track. Here we go. I love the keys on this. The keys are so good. Well, this track was indeed a farewell and a half, and I'm gonna tell you why. This ending of him saying, I think I've lost my mind. When we all say how we feel and we feel like we complain about things, when we try to express how we feel, if people make you sound like you're insane, like you've lost your damn mind. It's definitely a good closing because it tells you it tells you just that. Sometimes, after all this experience, after this projection of feelings, I feel like I lost my mind because I feel misunderstood. I feel like I'm not being listened to. This took effort, production. Mike Dean is on it. Fish is on it. Weiland is overseeing all the operations and giving us these very unique, these very raw, unfiltered versions of him. And I can't say anything but to say that I'm very happy with his artistic projection in this album. And I'm gonna just give it I love it, out of 10. I think you guys should listen to his old stuff and see how much he has progressed in his themes, his topics. And again, if you're a new fan of Weiland, if you just came here to see what I had to say, to see me bob my head or to see me cry, all that is internal stuff, We all have our personal connections to music. But all I have to say is that Weiland is something that we can all appreciate. This projection, his newfound persona. Now with that, I'm going to leave the video here. Let me know what you thought about all these songs as well. Am I right about what I said? And yeah, let me know in the comments. But thank you so much for checking this video out. This has been Juan Mendez, your favorite YouTuber as always. And I'll keep these coming. Show some love. I really appreciate it and I read everything. And with that, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.